Welcome back to more Disco Elysium. In this episode, I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but certainly the first thing I'm going to be doing is helping my raver friends with their club and drug lab here. So let me get out of the church. What is this? A prayer book has been left open. Let's go. Again, I refuse to run into church. I'm convinced there's a secret achievement. But I will run outside. I think we should be good to go here. Let me talk to the leader.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
I'm here to talk about the church again.
Yes? What's the deal?
Good news. I managed to convince Suna. She's okay with you guys moving in, but on one condition. She needs your speakers for her project.
We are grateful, Copman. You're an augury of a new era of Nordic dance music.
The speed freak smiles, happier than he's ever been before. You're going to have to share the space for a couple of weeks until she gets her research finished.
That's fine. We can manage.
He grins, excited.
And you haven't changed your mind about our little side business, have you?
I am a man of my word.
All right. It's going to take us a bit to move our stuff inside. A couple of hours, maybe. Come check back later. Let's get moving.
He waves to the other speed freaks. Okay, interesting. So there's nothing left here except all their trash that they left behind. Disgusting. Bunch of hooligans. I know they said it's going to take a couple hours, but where did they go if not the church? Oh wait, where am I going? If not the church, let me go down here. Let's roll. Let me take my caps lock off so I don't run in here. Oh yeah, they're turning this place into something, dare I say, hardcore.
Yeah, it's all set up, man. Can you already imagine 1,000 people in here? 10,000.
He waves his hand in an unbelievably lame, non-hardcore manner.
Ecstatic vibrations, totally transcendent. And I've finished setting up the new compressor too.
He looks at the imposing black box in the corner that's churning out the sound.
Now the only thing left to do is the name of the club. Will you do the honors, detective?
I think I'll ask everybody. What do you propose as the name, Andre?
The name. Everything I managed to come up with sounds just wrong.
He appears to mull it over, one hand idly touching his hair.
Andre's overthinking it,
Says the girl with the microphone.
Yes, you should do it, detective. It would be good for the signs.
The speed freak with yellow beads around his neck is looking at you.
Noid's right. You've helped us so much. It's the right thing to do.
Asil, what would you suggest as the name?
How about something simple, like the club?
Too modern and too ironic. We don't want ironic. We want real. Real and true and beautiful. Like a morning after the rave.
Andre shakes his spiky head. Egghead, you must have a lot of ideas.
Yakukata! Yakukata! The place to be!
The freak with the large head yells from the stage, waving his hand in the air.
Yeko Qatar, the zone of ecological catastrophe. That's too morbid, eh? Got anything else?
I kind of like it. I actually kind of like that.
Hardcore! Hardcore to the nigger!
A witless, victorious smile adorns his face. Still remains among one of my top favorite characters in this game.
No, it has to be bigger than hardcore. Yes, it has to be even bigger than hardcore to the mega. It has to be bigger than the scene.
Andre looks worried as he comes to this realization. Noid, give me your 2 cents on the issue.
The amnesia.
Like I can't remember the name of the club, amnesia.
Amnesia! It's not amnesia, guys.
Suna, do you have an opinion on this?
I don't.
Good. We have too many opinions anyway.
Kim, how would you name the club?
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't build a club, and I wouldn't name it either.
An underground place with no name? Sounds like something the Crabman would say.
We're not going with anything the Crabman would say.
Why not? The Crabman has ideas, Estelle. Ideas from another level of consciousness.
I don't care. I don't like the Crabman, and I don't like his ideas. His ideas are spooky. Next, please.
I think I've come up with a name.
You have? Well, what's the name?
Oh, come on. It's just begging for it. It's just begging for it. It's perfect. Disco Elysium.
Like that DeLorean word for the world, you mean? Elysium.
But Disco Elysium? Isn't it wacky? Disco's kind of gone, isn't it? Forgotten.
She looks unsure.
The past is the future, but the future is dead.
No, it's beautiful. Beautiful and brave. Like we want it to be.
And short. And memorable.
It's settled then. Everyone welcome to Disco Elysium.
A light beam washes over the dance floor, bathing it in violet blue.
Andre breaks into frenzied dance-like motion to celebrate the name. Someone turns up the beat. You should go with the flow. Join in on the experience.
Of course, start tapping your foot.
It feels good. It feels right. But what is this? What is this thing that Andre is doing with his limbs?
What are you doing, Andre?
I'm dancing.
He performs yet another strange pattern of movements. But it doesn't look very cool or modern. Honestly, it looks kind of lame.
That soft core gyrating is supposed to be dancing?
We should talk about it. We should talk about your so-called dancing.
Yes, my man.
He jumps up and down with glee, his moves punctuated by the stroboscopic flash of the club lights.
Talk? What is there to talk about if you can express yourself with moves? Audio waves thump against your ribcage. The speaker setup makes everything sound much better. But there's a noticeable lack of something.
I've been meaning to ask, what's with your hair?
It's to express my individuality.
Is that a bald spot? It's hard to tell for sure with the fused together spikes, but it looks like he's balding.
Is it important to you to be an individual?
Of course it is. Otherwise, I'd just be another poor guy with no education and no money. General issue, man. Now I'm all that, and I have radical spikes.
Or is it because you're balding?
Or because I'm balding, yes. I want to fuse the remains of my hair together before it leaves me. I want to show my hair. I don't give a fuck how old you think I am. I'm 20.
How old are you, Andre?
Not 20.
Fair enough.
Maybe it was a bad idea. Anyway.
Okay, so there's the savoir-faire check here. I have a feeling that if I improve the beat with that other task that I had with Egghead, then I'll have a better chance here. So I'm going to say that's it for now.
Goodbye, officer.
And I'm going to talk with the other guys. I'll come back to this check in just a moment. For now, let me talk with these guys.
You got us in, cop. I can't believe you got us in.
He looks around the hall, examining the carpentry.
With wonder in his sharp eyes.
Between you and me, I don't know if you've noticed this about me. I'm a little suspicious of authority. But you really came through for the hardcore underground.
Yes, you really came through for the hardcore underground. How come?
He spreads his arms, looking around at the speed freaks setting up shop.
Andre is busy cutting some slightly less lame, but still quite ungainly shapes on the church floor, sweating profusely. Estelle using her contact mic to listen to a tree underwater. The one with the large head is blasting the dance track on repeat, while the stained glass window behind him is rattling from the bass. Sire, the tent, 'twas a security risk, and in here, sanctuary. 'Twas only noble of you.
These kids got spunk. I admire that.
Okay.
The lieutenant keeps it laconic.
What he means is, you can't possibly have handed them this real estate for such a flimsy reason. Then again, Whatever keeps your nose out of the bottle and on the job.
Noid, what do you think about the church?
It's a miracle of carpentry. Dead bodies carved into total shapes. Now it can be something more.
He rubs his hands together. How old do you think the church is? Over 300 years?
That's right. The first settlers built it, plus 6 more like it. On the coast here was one of the first things they did. Must have been really scared of something, but I understand. Alone on an uninhabited archipelago, forced to face themselves and nature. Pre-industrial quantities of solitude. You see, perhaps something more fundamental.
He means something paranatural. He must...
I would want to build a safe place for myself and my own as well.
His voice echoes in the wooden cavern of the church. What style is this church built in?
A cop who's into building critique. Okay then, this is folk DeLoreanism. Lawmongerer. It's a subset of early DeLorean architecture.
I'm not just a cop, I'm an art cop.
Art of core.
He nods appreciatively. Okay, and what is DeLorean architecture like?
Total. Everything between an ancient concrete cathedral and a glass cube is DeLoreanism. This is just an homespun version of it. Folksy stuff. Early mass production. They made thousands like this. Does that help you out?
What would a DeLorean building look like?
Like that woman there. Vertical, thin, white. A false image of grandeur. The source of the system is up there. You're at the bottom. They really dug that power vertical. Like to show off large and intricate structures. Arches, spires. Put you down with them. They were really into painting everything white too. Virginal shit, you know. Marriage shit. Virtue and tyranny.
This church isn't painted white as far as I can tell.
Stands to reason it used to be white on the outside before the sea wind took all the paint off.
He peeks out of a small window in the dark.
Year after year, flake after flake, whitewashed clean, then covered in green moss. Slowly peeled by the wind, your skin crawls from the sensation as you look around. It was probably white and gold, with light red flower motifs. Part of you, assumed to be lost to nerve damage, knows this style to be Ubi DeLoreanism.
Is there such a thing as Ubi DeLoreanism, or did I just make that up?
Good catch, art cop. The herdsmen of the Ubi Sun Islands came here on the first boats. Their flowery version of DeLoreanism could be what we're standing in.
The Ubi are known for their partiality to socialism and sheep. They come from an island called Ubi Suant, drifting in the Pale off the coast of Vespa. It's the only place in the world that has a question mark in its name. Things are not well there. It's an island of poverty, an anthroponetic collapse.
What did you mean by dead bodies?
Dead bodies are perennial plants. Sigma functions have left this place. It's a good thing we came along. The spiritual collapse has been total.
He taps on the wood. Spiritual collapse?
I saw some piglets suckling their dead mother. Have you heard this one, cop man? After a short while, they shuddered and went away.
He continues without waiting for an answer.
They had sensed that she could no longer see them, and that she wasn't like them anymore. What they loved in their mother weren't her body, but whatever it was that made her body live. End of quote. This is an high-quality carcass. The power of anodic beats and hard bass is needed to reanimate it.
He kicks the floorboard. First, where is that quote from?
A Sarais man who lived a long time ago, an ancient hardcore brother.
What you're saying is religion has stopped being hardcore?
It never was. A 3,000-year-old regime of history, built by hundreds of generations of self-appointed intellectuals. It's false to the core.
He looks around.
The way he says it, the force in false core, is invested with 20 kilotons of disgust.
And you propose dance music will supplant this system.
Anodic dance music. Regular dance music wasn't hard enough. And yes, I do.
He nods.
You know what this kind of stuff goes well with.
Don't you have to be on drugs for that, though?
Only a little.
Cool.
It's a necessity. All large human gatherings are narcotic. It's just the way of the spinal cord.
There is a difference between narcotics and group elation. One kills you, the other does not.
The supercharged humanism that the innocentric system has been feeding us on giant city squares, that's not a drug. The sugar and wheat it feeds us is healthy.
Forget it. It will become an imbecilic discussion. You two continue. It's more hardcore that way.
How do you like the glass work?
I don't. Fuck her giving me the evil eye.
That's her innocence, Dolores Day. Mind your words.
You defend her? Law minion. She was a mass murderer. What's up with that?
He cracks his neck.
Mellow, man, mellow. No one's a mass murderer. This is a house of love.
Yells his friend.
Mass murder on the floor!
But she's pretty.
She invented the beauty you're feeling. She and her glass cutters and iconographers. You set the standard, all right.
He turns to look up at her face.
Then you meet it. It's effective like that, but it is also very soft of core. That so-called beauty of hers.
You're right. I like it harder core.
In the true life of tomorrow, every woman will be an innocence. They will wear neon headbands and leggings, and they will glow in the dark.
His eyes smile enigmatically.
But you don't like that. You liar. You like this one. The softness of her core is dear to you. Oh my living God. It's there. Suddenly you feel like you need to plummet into it. Look away. Say something.
But she's the innocence of humanism. Humanism seems to be a pretty big deal around here.
Humanism leads to eating sugar and pigs. Humanism was invented to mass-produce billions of humans. Billions of humans can mass-produce hundreds of billions of pigs.
And many, many more tons of sugar.
She liked games. Her legacy, the thing we live in, isn't real life. It's a strategy for some kind of victory against a long-dead opponent. But, yo, I'm only annoyed. What do I know?
Yeah, but like, who isn't accused of being a mass murderer these days?
No one says Arno van Eyck is a mass murderer. The anodic pioneer Rietveld is not a mass murderer. He is not accused of mass murder. Likewise, no one says Jermaine Egghead or Andre are mass murderers. You can live entirely outside that suspicion. Billions of people go about not being guilty of mass murder. Just not her.
He nods up. The resettlement programs were totally okay. I'm a big fan of resettlement programs for some reason.
Are you a commie cop?
No.
Then it's inexplicable. Whatever.
He picks up his toolbox, then puts it back down again. I do feel there is something terrifying about her.
There is. She is a party repellent and must be taken down before we can begin partying in here.
Keep it. Keep the beautiful sharp shards. Keep her long face and her hair.
The speed freak's eyes narrow with suspicion, as if he's looking at a man possessed.
It's not coming down. People are gonna love it. It'll be like our thing. Plus it keeps the cold and the rain out.
His friends keep dancing. Isn't she supposed to be an embodiment of the world spirit?
The world spirit does not have a body. It has organs. Hardcore is an organ of the world spirit.
He raises his left hand.
This Arno van Eyck track is an organ. The carpentry and glass cutting that built this house are also organs. She's a thief, if you ask me. An organ thief. All innocences are.
Would you say she was, you know, human?
I like this question, cop man. She did not live the life of a human. She lived like someone who's playing a game. The life of an operator.
The young man stretches his ribcage made of suspenders.
That's not the life that humans live. She was adored. Humans aren't. I don't know about you, but they hate me. And they do not think I'm innocent or some shit like that.
Yeah, they hate this too. Point at myself.
Well, they loved her. They put all their love in her and forgot all about the rest of us.
The young man lets go of the suspenders and they hit his chest with a slap. Yeah, I'm done talking about her. I don't want to think about her anymore.
What a strange choice of words. Caustic. Overflowing with negativity. That can't be healthy. What's happening here? Why do you keep coming back to this window?
It's a nice window.
Why do you keep saying that if it isn't making you feel well? Don't come back to this anymore. Stop talking about that damn window.
I'm gonna ignore the volition. Let's talk about the glasswork again. I've been thinking about her.
The mass murderer? Why?
No, never mind. Alright, I'm done talking about her.
Okay.
How are you settling in?
Hard to say, cop man. Signs in here are distinctly wild. Gonna take a while before everything's properly synced. I did get to talk to the crabman though.
You mean Tiago?
Anyway, he's been giving me kind of a psychic rundown of this place. Dude's seen some crazy shit, but he's actually a lot like us.
You mean like all his sobriety stuff isn't too restrictive for you?
Talking to him, I realised that sobriety can be pretty hardcore too. I gotta respect it. The man picks up on stuff, and he knows a lot about the church. I got a lot to learn from him. Good thing you didn't squash him.
What did Tiago tell you about the church?
The crabman's been lurking here for a while. He's experienced things. Things that give off bad signs. As far as we can tell, the Ubies built this place about 320 years ago as a sarcophagus.
Do you mean there are dead bodies here?
Not like a literal sarcophagus. I'm just being metaphorical.
What's it for?
Encasement, confinement, of something they were afraid of. Something new and unheard of on the Isla. I think that's what the crabman is experiencing when he climbs around upstairs.
He looks up into the darkness beyond the beams.
Like, this is some old world shit the Ubies had heard about. I thought the best way to deal with it was to build a church, surrounding it, to contain it.
I don't get it. To contain what exactly?
I don't know, and it's not something they properly understood either, what it does. But it's what this Sona person is looking for, and trying to measure.
He nods towards the woman.
It'll be fruitless though. She won't be able to measure it. People like that always want to measure everything. All those things they really can't.
The wood creaks as a gale blows by. Outside, dust particles fall through the darkness, settling down on the age-bleached floorboards. The structure does not feel particularly durable.
This building seems less than structurally sound.
No, it's pretty fucking unsound if you ask me. They should have built a club for anodic music around it instead.
He grins.
Anodic music will definitely contain whatever we're dealing with.
His words echo in the chamber.
And if it can't, well...
He shrugs non-committally. What makes you think Sona's gonna fail?
Seems to be the trend around here, doesn't it? You can't measure shit like this. It's not like... substance.
I found a doomed commercial area in Martinez proper. Maybe it's the same thing the Ubies were trying to contain?
Like a concentric ring spreading out. The struggling villages.
The young man rubs his chin in silence, then mumbles.
And that is what caused the communards to fail in defending the beachhead. Yeah, a lot of failure has gone down around here.
You think there's any merit to the theory?
I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. It's not a thing we can answer, cop man. Even I have limits. I'm a limited size person.
Well, if it's without substance, I guess there's nothing to worry about.
Maybe you can figure things out, Cop Man. I think we got on a good level here. The signs are syncing up well.
I wanted to talk some more about this place.
Dead body, spirit entered. What is there to talk of?
Let's talk about something else.
Sure.
The young man cracks his knuckles. Why are you so suspicious about everything?
Suspicious people are esoteric people. We don't go around spilling everything to Johnny Law. They don't call me Noid for nothing. It took us setting out for this whole enterprise to get our signs synced.
Why are you called Noid anyway?
It's short for paranoid.
May I ask why? What good is being suspicious?
A reasonable question. Say I get hurt. I want to make sure it never happens again. So I analyse the situation. Exercise caution. Caution is suspicion.
What are you suspicious of?
It'd be easier to list stuff I'm not suspicious of. I'm not suspicious of sound and colour. Mechanics and chemistry also have a trueness about them. Most anything else deceives. Wants to steal your life away.
This is a good, dangerous line of questioning. You should prod him on.
And what are the most suspicious things?
I don't have a top 10 list of things I'm most suspicious of, but if I had one, the left-right complex would be number 1. Number 2 would be their sole accomplishment, the pig-wheat paradigm.
Something is off here. You feel like it should be the other way around.
What do you mean the left-right paradigm and the pig-wheat complex?
No, politics is an inert complex of daily corruption and inane think pieces. The real paradigm is economic, and it concerns pig and wheat. This is where the innovation happens. It's only a theory. I suspect they're breeding a pig-wheat hybrid. Probably in Grad.
What's suspicious about the production of pork and wheat?
It's our only shit. We should make better use of not being animals or cereal grain ourselves.
What's bad about cereal grain? Having enough food could be a precursor for greater things.
Yes, having food is means to an end. But the left never talks about the end, only the means. Caps are likewise suckers, constantly sleepless in worry.
Tell me more about the left-right business.
I prefer not to. Both ask the wrong questions. Any spark of light from either one is accidental. Their combined movement's only concern is producing enough pig and wheat for everyone. The end goal of humanity. The original mistake was assuming that words have more being than bodies. That's what led us astray, far from our true lives, but we may yet find a way back.
Whatever this true life is, you feel it's the real centerpiece of this mythology.
Does this mean you are mentally ill?
Mental illness is a term the powers use to homogenise people. I think I don't reach mental illness. I am merely politically ill, a suspicious element.
I want to ask again, what's suspicious about the production of pork and wheat?
It's our only shit. We should make better use of not being animals or cereal grain ourselves.
What's bad about animals? Animals are cute.
Nothing. Animals are cool, guys. I like animals too, but that doesn't mean I have to be one myself.
Well, that was certainly stimulating. I want to ask you about something else now.
His eyes flicker.
You mentioned true life. What would that be like?
But life is true if it's free from fear, an eternal division among oneself. In others, mankind has seeds of greatness in it. A germinal will come, a return to trueness. It will be hardcore.
How would you go about returning to the true life?
Beats and bright lights to shatter falsehoods. Nerve impulses for the collective body. We are very much alike in basic structure. An hard enough beat would awaken everyone to a truer calling. In unity.
Just like that. The speed freak is right in your face. His eyes burning. His comrades look on worriedly. The young man is dead serious about this. Rejection of the right-left axis. Emphasis on unity. Appreciation of some primordial mode of being. What does that remind you of?
Sort of like fascism, then.
Nationalism, militarism, racism, and emphasis on a leader character are totally absent in hardcore.
The words echo through the church majestically. But shouldn't the ones that are more hardcore rule over the ones that are less hardcore? Offer them guidance?
If some want to lead and others want to be led, I think they are welcome to it.
You keep mentioning hardcore. What does that mean to you?
Utmost dedication, thoughts from the spinal cord. It's a potent superlative as well.
The term also signifies certain varieties of pornography that depict penetration, just so you know.
Good to know. I'm glad I got that tidbit there.
Egghead usually has a better concept of the hardcore. He just really likes saying hardcore.
Hardcore!
His friend shouts from behind the mixed table with a smile surpassing her own in wideness, a total moon face and eyes full of naive wonderment. The term hardcore also denotes a strain of pornography that depicts penetration. Did you know that?
That's a pretty hardcore coincidence, don't you think?
Yeah!
So you're advocating a noise-based society.
Many non-Occidental cultures share a beat at their art. Thus, they are closer to true hardcore life. There's just never been enough of them, and they had to rely on some extremely basic percussion.
Lord of the Western Plain, it is really happening right here. The migrants are contaminating our youth.
I should have known. You're taking after the Kipt. That's why you're so wacky.
Enough now, Noid. You have had enough fun bothering our guest with your crazy theories. Leave him alone.
Wow, that was a spin. Let me talk to her, Estelle. She is the most reasonable of the group.
She's whistling a melody, her trusty contact mic attached to a wooden pulpit. At the sound of your footsteps, she stops what she was doing and turns to you.
Hey there. I've been recording some new audio from all these beams and rafters. The sounds travelling through the wood are pretty cool. Creaks and stuff. Like you're underwater, you know? But like, underwater inside a tree.
She gives you a shy smile.
And yes, I'm being more like Contact Mike, alright? Don't even bring it up.
But Contact Mike is...
No. I actually wanted to thank you for getting me and my friends in here. And we even found some new associates, such as they are.
How's everyone doing?
Good, I think. Noid is getting a read on the place. I think he finds the carpentry very impressive. Andre's been setting up the compressor and dancing. Egghead's been keeping the party up. He's got the stage under control. Sauna, the programmer, she's doing whatever she does behind that radio computer of hers. She doesn't talk to us much, and the Crabman hasn't shown himself, thank God.
Now, can you tell me about your associates?
Sure. You helped us out. I can repay the favour. What do you want to know?
Tell me about Sona.
Ah, she's a bit odd, I have to say. Doesn't talk much. I'm not really sure how to vibe with her, you know? Seems like she's not in a very good mood most of the time. But earlier today she told me about Welkins, and she seemed oddly happy, like she had some idea with those little creatures. Some artistic idea. I didn't really listen, I was busy with my mic.
What about Tiago?
Oh, the Crabman. Still gives me the creeps the way he moves. But he doesn't actually come down that much, just climbs around the rafters. I just tried to stay away from the Crabman. But he talks to Noid. They seem to have some thing going on.
Oh? He talks to Noid? What for?
Beats me. Noid said they get along somehow. They're both crazy enough, I guess.
What does he do up there?
Who knows? He doesn't really answer our questions, see? Not that it's easy to ask them. What are we supposed to do, yell up at the tower?
Thanks. About the others.
Who do you want to know about?
Tell me about Andre.
Andre? He's a cool guy. Doesn't really come off as one, but he is. To me, at least.
She rubs her sides, but not from cold. Her shoulders are relaxed. She must have taken a hit, or she's on an upswing.
He takes care of shit. Sorry. I mean, he's got a vision. For what life should be, you know? He tries to push things until everything falls into place. He's an organizer.
What has he organized?
Nothing. But then again, there's nothing to organise around here either. He really wants this church thing to work. Must have taken it as a sign when he found it abandoned like that. Said it was an augury. I don't know where he got that from. Andre's not super intelligent. I've never seen him so psyched about anything though. And he's often psyched. Looks sort of desperate, like it's his last chance or something. Or maybe he was just high. I mean, not that he does drugs, just high, you know?
Relax, girl. We're police officers, but we're corrupt. Rotten to the marrow. You can tell us about drugs and shit. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, drugs, shit, fuck. We don't care.
Yes. Anyway.
Is Andre your boyfriend?
Yes.
Tell me about the others.
Who do you want to know about?
Tell me about Noid.
He's a four-burger, I guess, like the rest of us. Okay, maybe not Egg, I don't know about him, but Noid and the rest are from Forberg, making the pilgrimage up north to visit the Palaceum. He's real hardcore about the lifestyle.
What does he do?
What do you mean do? Like for a living?
Yes.
He's a carpenter, trained and all. He's very good, he just doesn't have the mindset to work like that, in a shop somewhere.
Is that because of his beliefs? The hardcore and the ribs? The spinal cord and stuff?
Not to sound too dramatic, but I wouldn't make light of his belief system when he's around. Noid's a serious person. He's serious about the lifestyle.
What is this pilgrimage you're talking about?
It's just something poor Forberg kids do every spring. To pass the time, we walk the entire length of Boogie Street, up to Jamrock. Or as much as possible.
Why wouldn't it be?
I don't know, man. Have you been down Boogie Street? It's a little bewildering.
No, I'm sorry. Have I not told you? I'm a raging alcoholic who recently drank himself into an oblivion so deep he can't even remember what sounds like the biggest street in the city.
Kind of? I'm gonna say yes.
Well, I am.
Okay. Then you should go and take a look, I guess. Boogie Street is cool. It's got a lot of immigrants and all kinds of different people.
Oh, and I'm also a raging fascist who doesn't approve of any different people, so no, I don't think I'll be going.
Unfortunately, I can confirm that.
Okay. To each his own.
Actually, tell me about the others.
Who do you want to know about?
What's the deal with Egghead?
What do you mean?
What does he think he's doing when he yells all that stuff?
Oh, that. He's the party boy.
He told me as much, but what exactly is a party boy?
A nod at music doesn't really do vocals in the traditional sense. Vocals are thought of as rock. That's to say they're a bit backward. No offence if you like rock music though. Rock music's cool by me.
Pachoo, swish. Your credentials as the resident future man of Revachol are being questioned. Show her you're hip with the times, Gramps.
You don't have to tell me rock is backwards. I am the future man. I abandoned rock in the 30s. Stupid rock.
Okay.
She nods.
Anyway, even if you don't have vocals, you still need someone to say something every now and then, right? To urge things on. That's where the party boy comes in. He basically just stands on the stage and dances and yells how awesome everything is. It's very catchy.
I understand. People are usually afraid to do things if others aren't already doing them. Dancing makes you dance, like sneezing makes you sneeze, or yawning makes you... Anyway.
He looks around a little embarrassed of the enthusiasm of his interjection. Where's he from? How long has he been with you guys?
Actually, we don't know where he's from, or who he is, really. One time we were out partying somewhere in backwater Forberg. Or maybe even Coal City, I can't remember. Maybe it was Coal City.
The worst of the banlieues. A wretched heap of closed-down mines, even west of Jamrock, on the dusty slope of Montmartin, the remotest possible area of Revachol. No one even wants to exploit those people anymore.
Egg was yelling along to some jam someone was spinning, all night long. Just kept yelling until he didn't have a shred of voice left. When the sun came up over the mines. There were mines? Yeah, it was in Coal City.
She nods.
Egg came with us. He made this wheezing puppy dog sound all the way back. Couldn't even speak. It was definitely Coal City, because it took us 2 days to walk back to the fort. He just wheezed the whole way. We never really asked why he came with us, or who he was. I think his name is Jermaine. People are sweet.
You can see it must have been a great night. The memory causes her to go silent for a moment or two. You wish you'd been there.
Tell me about the others.
Who do you want to know about?
Actually, do tell me about yourself.
Me? Again?
Yes, I forgot. Tell me about yourself.
I told you, I'm a silver bird.
There's that phrase again. Really reminds you of something.
What does that mean?
It means I don't answer questions about myself.
But I'm a police officer. You have to answer me.
Is there a law that would stop me from lying, though?
That would depend on the circumstances.
The lieutenant taps his foot. Fair enough.
Thank you.
Thank you. Some other questions.
Sure.
So we got our reaction speed for catch the silver bird. I'm going to say, actually, that's it for now. I'm going to try all these white checks in a second.
Searchlight Division. You've sharpened your senses by being on the lookout for missing persons. Now you notice more of what's happening around you. Perhaps, when you're done with this case, you can join the Searchlight Division of the RCM and find every Revacholian that's ever gone missing without a trace. There is undoubtedly a backlog of such cases, because you never know. A missing person could be just around the edge, barely out of sight.
Okay, that gives me +2 perception. That's pretty good. I'll accept that. I got a ton of points here to work with. So yeah, all these characters are unlocking white checks for me, but I'm going to talk to everybody in here first, and then I'll circle back and try to do the white checks.
Yes, what is it?
She doesn't look up from the keyboard. How's the project going? I see that your neighbors have moved in, but all I hear is anodic dance music.
What? What did you say?
She leans closer, eyes knitted together in a puzzled expression. You can barely hear her over the thumping bass of anodic dance music. I said, how's the project going?
I can't hear you! The music is too loud!
She shouts, pointing at the enormous speaker that's turning out the sound. The project! How's it going?
Oh, the project! It's not going well!
Her face lights up for a second before she gives you an exaggerated handshake. Why?
There's that guy! I need him to plug a 3.5 cable into the auxiliary input so that I can route the audio signal through the mixer into the speakers.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Egghead! A 3.5 cable! Into the auxiliary input! Okay?
She rises a black cable. Why don't you just ask him?
He doesn't listen to me! He only ever seems to care about hardcore and Yekukata! A place to be, apparently!
I'll speak to him, see what I can do.
Thanks! Maybe you can get through his magic rhymes!
She does jazz hands to mock him.
Let me know how it goes!
Right, I'll let you work in peace now. Okay, let's talk to my favorite character.
The Lion Church, the place to be! Make some noise, my church people!
Large speakers are set up behind the young man blasting a familiar song.
Vibrations thump through your blue soul. The music sounds much better in the church. A hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane, tangled in its branches, something bronze flutters in the wind. He stands on stage behind a table, nodding along to the music and waving his hand in the air. In front of him, the audio mixer, one reel spinning. The other reel deck is empty. Cables run hither and thither. On one side, you see an auxiliary line in with the number 4.5 written next to it.
How do you like it in the church?
Yeah! Back on the case! No disgrace! Bring it down to party place!
He pumps his fist in the air.
The first page of the second chapter!
His voice echoes all around the grand hall.
Could it be? Maybe for him. You only have a chapter or two left in you. Last of the penultimate, more like.
I found this reel of tape. Maybe you can use it to hard up Ike's jam. Gonna give him the tape from the fixed hawthorn tree.
Yeah! Remix time! Tape goes here, into deck B.
His voice booms through the church as he takes the tape and attaches it to the empty reel slot. He clicks a switch, the tape starts spinning.
A hand on his ear. He listens to the audio through his headphones and shouts.
Wow! Did you get this from Arno himself?
His face lights up with delight.
A great excitement is bubbling to the surface within him. This is big.
What do you mean?
Listen, I'm just going to show it to you. Ready?
Ready. He wipes his brow. By the way, guys, I mentioned this in episode 1, but there's an option in this game to turn off any copyrighted music. I did not check that option, so pretty much every video in this series so far has been copyright, and so I don't get any ad revenue from any of this. So if you guys appreciate that I do that, the least you can do is leave a like on the video. I certainly appreciate the likes. So there you go, enough shilling on my part.
Now, if only we had the beat for the full assault, it would be unbelievably hyper.
What is this? It's good. How did you guys do that?
Estelle looks up from her contact mic. You're right. It's uncanny how well it all goes together. Something else must be going on here.
Yes, but what if Van Eyck based his remix on some forgotten local melody? Like a folk song? And you just found the original piece that inspired him to create this jam? That would explain why it fits so well.
Nah, to me it sounds like classic Van Eyck. I don't think he needs any inspiration from folk songs. Maybe he lives in Martinez and just threw away part of his song because he thought it wasn't good enough.
I think it's just happenstance. Chaos in action. Contingencies of our limited existence. That and Egghead's fantastic talent.
He nods to his friend behind the turntables.
Noid's right. Egghead's technical talent is the key. No, this is definitely part of the same song. Something cut from it. It fits too well. Something mysterious is going on here.
What should I pick here? Andre's got it. Sounds like a local folk song. No, I'm gonna go with this one. I agree with Noid. It's just luck. And Egghead's incredible mixing skills.
Be how it may, if it fits, it fits. Bring up the volume.
He pumps his fist in the air.
What about the bass? Do you have any ideas for that?
Andre looks back at you.
Yeah, I remember. You said it needs more bass.
You can't just leave it without a bass track.
That is true. Honestly, nothing springs to my mind right now, but I'll see if I can come up with a solution down the lane.
Yo, the warrior! The warrior of dance music!
Don't be too hard on yourself if you don't figure it out. I think the jam's already pretty ultra.
But it could be hyper hardcore!
I was thinking maybe those useless speakers that I bought that were propping up the sneakers over by that sleazy salesman on Rue Sangus Lane, but I guess that's not an option here. Egg, can you please route Sona's signal through your speakers?
To the Mega! Yeah! I can route it through auxiliary! What kind of a cable does she use? 3.5 or 4.5?
He gets serious. It's 3.5, no doubt about it. It's on the ground.
Oh, she uses 3.5. Yeah. The auxiliary lining is 4.5 millimeter. These two don't mix.
An uncomfortable pause follows.
Oh no, we're going to be in this church forever.
The lieutenant closes his eyes.
Don't worry, I have an adapter for it right here.
He searches for the cable on the ground and picks it up, looking at the jack.
Hang on, this is a 4.5. We're all good, people!
With a grin, he sticks the plug into the auxiliary line. You hear a satisfying click.
Whoa, thank God. A That does noticeably degrade the sound quality.
Great! Someone got through to him. Okay, let's get it all set up. Can we turn the music off, please?
Egg, the music?
Everybody! Everybody! Don't panic! I'm going to turn off the Arno for just a sec. For a special scheduled event.
The young man shouts as he clicks a switch on the mixer.
The Arno will be back, but we're doing something else for one moment. All right, go tell her that Egghead is ready to rave to her tunes, and then I'll turn off the music.
All right, goodbye, Egghead. Let me see if there's anything new here after I spent a long time talking with my friend about
The
it.
humanism stands above you, a precious and complex wax painting.
Nothing here. I'm just gonna go through and let me talk with her now.
Yes, what is it?
All right, I talked to Egghead. He plugged in the cable. You can now unmute your speakers.
Okay, but think you can ask him to turn the volume down a bit? Just in case.
She seems hesitant, her eyes still fixed on Egghead.
Maximum!
Shouts Egghead, a great smile still adorning his face, larger than a red dwarf star.
Maximum is the only way!
I know it is, but could you please turn it down just this instance? Just this one time? Maximum is not the only way, okay?
Pump it to the brick! Pump it to the hard master! There's no other way! Glue style!
Glue style? Okay, there literally is no other way. The mixing desk is glued to maximum.
See? He pumps it to the hard master. It's hopeless.
That's hilarious that he's actually glued his mixer to max volume. That's spectacular. He really is hardcore. I think what Egghead is trying to say here is that the volume button is stuck on maximum.
Of course it is.
She shrugs, consigned to her fate.
Yeah! Permanent enlightenment! Ray of sound!
Never mind then. Let's get on with our project. I'm going to unmute the speakers on a count of 5. Everyone ready?
She looks around the church.
Egghead pumps his hand up in the air, waiting for the beat to drop.
Born ready.
Ready!
I'm ready if you two are detectives.
The lieutenant nods stoically. Suddenly, your palms are sweaty. The church seems cold and large, somehow.
Hold on for a moment.
What?
Maybe we shouldn't do this. It's too dangerous on maximum volume too.
No, we should definitely do this. I am going to do this. Ready?
She pauses, looking around the church. Everyone stares at her, hand on the keyboard. Never mind, let's do this. I'm ready. Woo.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mute disengaged.
She lifts her hand from the keyboard. Complete silence fills the room.
No wind outside, no waves, no floorboards creaking. Total, continuous silence. This is unnatural. The woman looks around. In the silence, you see dust move on the floorboards. The driver of the speaker vibrates in the air and then stops. Plasterwork begins to crumble down the walls. In the silence, a low hum starts creeping up your spine. It's a song inside you, not in the speakers, not in the room. A great bass sigh in the basement of your mind. Slowly, it builds until the air around you starts to vibrate. It's out there now, in the world, made manifest. It will devour everything. The floorboards, the glass, the streets and the people. Nothing will remain.
Guys, what's going on?
There's alarm in the man's voice as he steps back to scan the surroundings. A slight rattle, like crystal clattering in the cupboard, fills the air, joining the chorus.
It's getting louder!
His eyes riveted on the stage, circle of water basins.
In the basins, the water looks like it's boiling.
On the strange circle of water basins, by the way, misread that word.
Hosiana! Mother of Mega!
You hear Egghead yell, then something else, but his voice is growing faint.
In his mind, a tidal wave approaching from afar, swallowing entire coastlines on its way. Salvation. He's peaking. The worst high he's ever been on.
It was in me at first.
The beauty and the beat! The future of dance! Planetary!
No, Egg! It's the window!
The glass shards around Dolores Day's vacant heart appears to be vibrating from the sound. It almost looks like as if she's alive.
In the corner of your eye, the lieutenant steps aside, cautiously, his eyes searching for a possible evacuation route.
The window is going to come down! No, the roof!
She looks up. A screech fills the air. A scream of wood and nails. The pillars of the church twist and creak above and around you.
Cracks appear on the stained glass window. Cracks run up the wooden pillars in the dark.
Come down to us! Love!
Below it, all the bass grows, like the jaws of a giant compressor gnawing on metal and wood. It does not sound benevolent at all. It's shaking the building's foundation. The floor twists. A great pulse arises in your flesh.
That's it. I'm muting it.
She reaches for the keyboard. Oh, I want to dance with somebody.
Oh! I want to feel the heat with somebody!
Shit! It doesn't stop. A seal? Have you?
The woman is furiously pressing down on her keyboard, but the sound doesn't stop.
Yes, I've turned it off.
She yells, holding the contact mic in her hand.
Andre, pull the compressor. The place is gonna come down.
Fuck! I can't shut it up. The signal's passed. It's not in here. It's...
Andre frantically smashes the buttons.
In the mixing desk now, building into a positive feedback loop. This is it. A great roar. The vault of the roof twists above you. Glass shatters somewhere near the door. It's coming down.
Oh, man. Egghead, whatever you do, don't stop it. I feel like that's what my crazy detective would say.
But then it stops. Totally and utterly. As if there never was a sound. Only your ears still ring from the shock. Everybody is staring at Egghead, holding a dangling cable in his hand. A black 3-pin connector.
He's definitely not nearly as hardcore as my detective.
Egg.
I pulled the plug. It was getting too hardcore.
You did good, Egg. Most of the place seems to be intact. Fucking hell. Programmer lady, tell me you were recording that.
Andre breathes a sigh of relief and inspects the window.
4 years. 22 people. Millions of reals. All that time? This is what we were up against. Just erased it. Suliswolf isn't gonna believe this.
The woman whispers. Her lip trembles.
Yeah, but did you record it though? It was dope. I think we can use it.
Yes, Andre. I recorded it. Damn, I need to send some letters now.
She composes herself, wipes the dust off her sweater, and rests her hand on the keyboard.
Thank you all for doing this. Eggman, you too. And you, officer. I don't know what we've discovered, but I know what it sounds like now. That's a start.
Kim, did you hear that?
It was very hard not to. I think you're right. There is something going on here. And you need to be very careful with it.
He turns to the woman.
I promise, officer. We will not play it again.
What was that? I have never heard anything like that.
It was mathematical information from the anomaly, presented as a waveform. That's what it was technically. Theoretically,
She shakes her head.
I have no idea. I've never even heard of anything like this.
A voice seems muffled in the silent church. It's your ears adjusting after the exposure.
You're going to write Sulislaw?
Yes, our lead designer. And maybe some of the producers too. And some of the writers. If they're sober enough to open a transmission. They need to hear.
That it wasn't her fault. Or theirs.
They need to hear about this. Don't worry, I won't send the recording, although I doubt they have the speakers to produce the frequency anyway.
What happens now? Are you going to...
Stay here. I'm going to stay here with these lunatics. Send letters, maybe meet Sulispov. Also devise further measurements.
She cuts you off, her deft fingers already on the keyboard.
I want you to know that's totally chill with us.
I don't care, but thank you anyway.
She blurts, then reconsiders.
That's the best she can manage for Andre. It's quite a lot in truth. For her, at least.
Now, I have a theory to come up with. Some kind of preliminary explanation to all this. Or the letter will sound like I've lost my mind.
Her hands move on the keyboard.
Yes, and we have to get back to stabilizing Martinez. Instead of demolishing it with loud bass noise of unknown origins.
He breathes out, trying to shake off tension.
Some tiny hard thing lets go in your stomach. You're still alive. You have an explanation for all this. Somewhere deep in you, you know. The person you were knows.
Okay, so I have 3 white checks to do here in the church. But that was pretty climactic. A lot happened here. I didn't expect the conversations to take so long this episode. But I feel like this is a good stopping point. In the next one, I will continue the investigation. It looks like the stained glass might have broken a little bit more, so I have to kind of re-examine everything here. I'm going to talk to everybody after the occurrence. We'll do some of the white checks, and we'll continue investigating. I hope you're excited about it. If you would like, you can become a channel member to help me make up some lost revenue from not being able to monetize any of these videos, because I choose to give you, the viewer, the experience the game wants you to have with all of the original music. You can become a channel member for as little as 99 cents a month. You'll get some cool badges, some cool emotes. If you're feeling even more generous, there are a few other tiers as well. But again, that's enough shilling. Thanks as always for watching. If you don't have money to become a channel member, I don't care. You can just leave a like on the video, and that means just as much to me, and a subscription as well. So, see you guys next time.
Thanks for stopping by the Renaissance Gaming Monastery. I hope you join our community on Discord and Twitter. These videos are produced with a lot of hard work and love. If you think they're worth $1, I'd be grateful for your contribution. You can send a thanks donation or become a member on YouTube. You can also support through PayPal, Patreon, or even with cryptocurrency. All links are in the description. See you on the next video.